Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richard Baublitz. I'm the high school orchestra director. It is my privilege to welcome you all to our spring orchestra concert. This first ensemble is our chamber orchestra, and this is our audition select orchestra. Our first piece was the fourth movement of Anthony Dvořák's Ninth Symphony, famously nicknamed his New World Symphony. Dvořák wrote this piece when he was in America. He was inspired by Native American music, African American spirituals, and the landscapes of America with its wide open spaces. I believe he started this piece in New York and finished it in Iowa, so he got a wide range of America there. Our next piece, and final piece for chamber orchestra, is Percy Granger's Irish Tune from County Derry. You may know this melody more famously, notably by the name "Oh Danny Boy." So this piece is really near and dear to my heart. My grandmother was Irish, and every time I went up to see her in Pittsburgh, she always asked me to sing this. So this piece really means a lot. But I hope you enjoy. So now on the stage is our string orchestra. That first piece was titled Best of the Ballet, and it had melodic content pulled from 6 different ballets. The most famous being the Saint-Saëns Bacchanal from Samson and Delilah, which was the last piece, and then Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. Our next piece is called Roses from the South Waltzes by Johann Strauss. This is an arrangement of one of his most notable works and features 2 waltz themes. After that, we will perform the themes from the Rite of Spring, which is my favorite piece on the program here. The Rite of Spring was a ballet written by Stravinsky and was extremely controversial as it departed from the conventional norms of ballet music. The music is jarring and dissonant, and the movements of the dancers were very rigid and violent. At its premiere, it was said to have started riots because of that departure of traditional harmonic music everyone was used to. So please enjoy Roses from the South Waltzes and themes from the Rite of Spring, and please don't riot. Enjoy. We are now going to shift things slightly to have our string quartet perform for you. These four individuals really took it upon themselves to learn and perform this piece, which is not a watered-down arrangement. Okay? It is the original professional American quartet by Antonin Dvořák. The quartet is composed of one player in each part. Andrew Nye on violin 1, Edward Koontz on violin 2, Isad Mang on viola, and Anna Peelan on cello. I do need to recognize one individual who shared his immense talent and wisdom as a musician and teacher, and that is Rick Nye, Andrew's father. Please thank him for lending his time by a round of applause. And now I leave it to these four musicians to perform Antonin Dvořák's American Quartet. Quartet. They're incredible. It's time to recognize our seniors, who are just incredible, and we're going to miss them a lot. Our first senior that we'd like to recognize for her incredible talent and contribution is Anna Peelan. We're going to stick with the cellos. Also incredible talent. And Anna plays in the string orchestra and our chamber orchestra and our quartet. But incredible talent does not stop there. Ethan Kennedy of the cello section as well. We have two seniors from our viola section. So Ethan also plays in string orchestra and our chamber orchestra. Too short, or I'm too tall actually. This is too short. Okay, now to the viola section. Vicente Meng plays in our string orchestra, chamber orchestra, and our quartet. Please give him a round of applause. We have another viola senior, Alexis Fessler, who plays in our string orchestra. Please give him a round. To our violin one section, we have Ryan Nye, who plays in our string orchestra and our chamber orchestra. Up next is Calista Horton, who plays in our string orchestra and chamber orchestra. Last but certainly not least, Alex Medzoyan, who plays in our string orchestra and our chamber orchestra. Now, thank you to all seniors. Stay up here for a picture. But we have one more award to give out, and that is the School National Orchestra Award. National School Orchestra Award. But it is the highest honor I can bestow upon a member of the high school orchestra. This award recognizes excellence in playing and contributions to the ensemble. Alex Medzoyan is the epitome of both excellence and selfless contributions to this ensemble. One of the hardest workers I've had the pleasure of teaching and extremely deserving of this award. It is my privilege to present the National School Orchestra Award to Mr. Medzoyan.
We have a little gift for Mr. Baublitz. We'd like to thank you for all the effort that you've put into our program for your first year of being our guide. And this is for you.
So just a little bit about Mr. Baublitz here. I'll try to keep it short, but so as many of you know, last year was the last year of our orchestra conductor who had been conducting us this high school for I don't even know how long, a long time. And you know, it's always hard for an orchestra to have someone go like that. And well, that sounded weird, but like he had retired. Sorry. So yeah, we had our selections come in for who was going to be our new conductor. He had guest conductors come and help us out at the end of the year. And I had no idea what to expect from Mr. Baublitz when it was announced that he was chosen. I was hoping that it would be, the same, I want to say like the same person as Dr. Kendall. And I think that that's surely changed my mind because I don't know if anyone can be the same like person, you know? Like, you are a different person, but I still respect you all the more for that. It's, you know, really been a pleasure to have been conducted by you the past couple months that we've been in school. And, yeah, I think it's just been great that you've been so open to having, you know, Quartet especially come down whenever we wanted, and, you know, just...
It's not true.
And just, you know, just be so open and friendly to us. And I really think that, you know, you have so many elementary kids that you've gotten to join this program that I'm really excited to see where this ends up in the future. So, congrats and thank you.
Okay, I promise this is the last time I'm going to talk. But, Cedar Crest Music Aids, I have to talk about them real quick. So CCMA is our parent organization, and they are truly a vital part of our music programs and the success of them. Just this year, they helped the Orchestra program purchase a bass for one of the elementary schools and a bass for the high school. And to purchase 4 basses this year to provide for our students. We have 7? 7 up here. I think we have 8 at the middle school and 8 at the high school. Or 8 at the elementary school. That's incredible. But we couldn't have done it without their help. They also provide each program with a supplemental budget, allowing us to provide even more for our students and programs. In the name, it is a parent organization, so we need your help. Your volunteering is a direct way that you can be an integral part in supporting not only the music department, but your child's program and musical training. Please think about joining CCMA and lending us your support. You can find their information out front, on social media, or come to their monthly meetings at the high school. Okay. Thank you all for coming out this afternoon. Please drive home safely after the concert. Our last piece here is titled The Star Wars Epic. We will be playing a movement from each of the first 3 movies. Duel of Fates, which is arguably one of the best fight scene music of all time, from the first movie. Across the Stars, the love theme from the second movie, and Revenge of the Sith, which is the battle music of the opening of the third movie. John Williams is one of the most prolific composers of our time, and playing a piece like this had us as an orchestra thinking in new ways. So playing film score or movie music, you have to think more about texture rather than individual parts. So this piece had us discussing, you know, some of your parts might only have 3 notes, but it's how those 3 notes are played at different times that matters. But please hold your applause until the end of the third movement. Thank you.